Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. So yesterday evening's matter, we just continue that again. So the question was that wearing the sacred thread, wearing other forms of sacred images and all that. And then after that, if one was to do things like drinking alcohol, smoking and all that, does it affect? So first thing is that we must answer how these things act. How does alcohol act? How does tobacco act? All that. So these are things which are mind-altering substances. So the mind is like a radio. It's a big radio. And when the mind is, we are all tuned to a certain reality. Sometimes because of something happening to us or an injury to the head or the brain or something, we see a different reality. And then they say we have become mad. But they are seeing a different reality. And they are trying to correlate it to what they are living in. So they are mad according to us. Then with medication on that means getting retuned back into the plane in which we live. So when we have alcohol and all that, these things change the level of the mind. When it changes the level of the mind, we go to other worlds. For example, many musicians, many poets and all that, unless they drink or they have drugs, they cannot work. That's because what happens is that they have, because in the early days they would have, due to some Purva Janma karma, due to Purva Janma attractions or attachments, they are able to go into the Gandharva world, which is world of music and all that. So what happens is that they link with those people and they receive the inspiration and they write. What happens as they go on in life, that Shakti which they had, it comes down. So by use of these things, which change the mind's condition, they go like liquor or whatever, they go back into the Gandharva world and that's why they are able to function. But sometimes, even without that, it is an excuse for them to indulge them because they can't go back into that to that level of inspiration and write. That is a matter of their karma. But these things, for example, many people tell me about weed. Weed is not something which you get addicted to, your mind becomes very clear, you are able to concentrate. Why is that? Because that changes your mind, it focuses you on one level. And so therefore you are able to experience. You say, no, I had weed, I was able to write well, I was able to do well and all that. Why? Because that chemical nature of that makes the mind concentrate on something. That's all there is to it. And it's not addictive, they say, yes, it's not addictive. But then, what is the minus point in it? You are at that moment going into other planes. In other planes, there are other people living. Other people are living there in that. Those other beings, they may affect you. You may get into touch with them unconsciously. And that could cause feelings of depression, unhappiness, all these things later. So that's why these things are better not done. This level of concentration, this level of getting inspiration can come through meditation, it can come through worship. These things have always been tried. When Uddhava Gita, in Bhagavatam, Bhagavan says that state of mind which comes through drugs and other things, that can be attained by my worship. But that state of mind which is attained by my worship cannot be attained by these means. He gives 4 or 5 drugs, meditation, asanas, all these sort of things. But this comes only from, this is lasting. the situation is lasting. But in the other things, it is not lasting, it can bring other forces in. So will this lead to Papa Karma? These bring in certain Shaktis, and when this is happening, when these activities are, these forces are coming into the body, it is not compatible with the initiation of the Gayatri, which precedes the Punur being given, and which is part of the initiation. Now, many people say, I don't say the Gayatri, I don't do Sandhya, it's just a piece of thread on my chest. But at one time that initiation was given. So that infection has gone, that God infection has gone into. So that does not go very easily. Sathguru used to say about Narayana, come. Sathguru used to say that this cobra's bite is fatal about devotion to God. If you have it at one time in your life, it will always be there. So you can't escape from it. If it comes and it will not go. So we have to understand that this Shakti exists in the body, plus an incompatible Shakti is coming in with all these things. And once one has got into these habits, it leads to further bad habits which are not good for us. So we create two Shaktis in ourselves, which causes discord, not necessarily now, it may follow later. So, Punyam is, I'm repeating much what I said yesterday, because many people are not here yesterday. Punyam is positive Shakti, which attaches itself to us. Papam is negative Shakti, which attaches itself. The whole life is creation of Shakti which sticks out to us. So we have to see that it's more positive than negative. So that is why we have things like prayer, meditation to clear oneself, so that these things don't appeal to us. When it appeals to us, we feel like doing it again and again. So we do these things which Sathguru said, certain amount of just sitting in the puja room itself, that creates a mental state which makes us open to these things. Then a little japa, a little meditation, parayanam. When you read all these things, it keeps your mind happy. And also, it gives a focused mind. Then we have to go out into the world, various things happen. We have to try to retain that meditative state. So that is why I always said, in between work, stop for a little while, meditate, even if it's just for a minute or two. It's small, like we have tea breaks, so to refresh ourselves to do our work. We have broad breaks to strengthen ourselves to do the work. When these things happen as a matter of course, then we get stabilized in the idea of our relationship with God. So when we pray, it gets more stronger. So the Shaktis increase, the positive Shaktis increase, and the attraction to wrong things come down. Now, this question was asked to Sathguru in 84. What do you do when you know that something is wrong, yet you do it? Because you can't help it. So Sathguru explained there are two types. One is, you feel it's wrong, and you say it's wrong, but yet I'm doing it. With a firm intention, you have no intention of stopping. You're just doing that to deceive other people and deceive yourself. Sathguru once said about one person, you deceived yourself to an extent that you think that you can also deceive God. So, Sathguru, so what happens is that there are some people who would say, yes, I'm bad, I want to be good and all that, but they have no intention. It's just for public consumption they are saying all this to make it look nice. Some people, they feel bad, they do wrong things and they feel they should not have done it. Here it is, evil trait, there is weakness. So what happens is that we have to see the difference between those people when we associate with them. And what Sadhguru said to do is that, yes, he told that person, you feel it is wrong and yet you do it. But then you slowly tell yourself, even if you are doing it, you tell yourself you shouldn't be doing it. And afterwards, before you go to bed, you pray to God for strength to be able to stop doing it. When you do that, then you will slowly be able to, that attraction is combined with the thought of the idea that it is wrong. So slowly with God's grace, as you pray and all that, the feeling that it is wrong will become more, and then this one will fade away, that light will fade away. Sadhguru was a very practical person. Sadhguru knew that everybody has to climb up the mountain. So he didn't say, no, you should be on the top of the mountain. You have to climb up, and that's a slow process. So, creating this punyam on one side, creating bad karma on the other side, slowly, if we are able to move away, push away all these things which are in the way, then it will become easier for us to go. And the easiest way in which to push it away is satsanga. Prayer at home, reading Sadhguru's books, coming to Peetam, all these sort of things. Now, yes, you pray at home and Sadhguru is there, yes. But coming to Peetam, this is a different place. Sadhguru said herself, it says, Guru is living here. So then that Shakti is there here, which you don't get elsewhere. I don't know, many of you may have heard earlier, I spoke about this, that the japa done here, I have seen personally, the japa done in Peetam and the japa done when I am travelling outside, there is a considerable amount of difference. And for example, Nambudri does the pujas here, he was talking with me, so he asked me what I do. I said, I was mentioning on many of the things we do, and I said also this Aghora Shiva also I do for people who have got difficult. Aghora Shiva is very, very powerful. That's why your body is getting hot like this, and it may not be good for you to do too much. So I said, he said, how much do you do? So I said, with Sadhguru's grace, if I do 11 times, that person's difficulties came down. He said, 11 times? I said, yes, 11 times. I said, no, I didn't know that 11 times is enough. But must be the Shakti of this place. Because 11 times cannot cause enough power or enough or to affect you. It won't affect you, and it cannot cause, enough to transform a person's situation. But then again and again I have seen that. Because I remember once one of Suresh's relations, she met me in Madurai, so she called and said that no, there are a lot of problems and they are asking for that they are going to arrest me because of some business debts or something, so I don't know what to do. Then I want to get anticipatory bail, and the lawyer took a lot of money from her and then said, I don't know whether you get the bail, and so he has to go and plead today, I don't know what will happen. So I just said one thing. I said, you just say Jai Jai Shri Sudarshana morning and evening. She got the bail the next day. The lawyer said didn't expect to get the bail. But he became strenuous in his efforts, and the judge was also propitious and they got the bail. But Jai Jai Shri Sudarshana is such a simple small mantra. Why did it work for her? Because one, she said it was faith. Secondly is that it was sent from Sadhguru's room. I was sitting in Sadhguru's room and talking. So that had that effect there. So this place has its Shakti, its Mahima. And I have also personally seen the concentration which I get in this room, the concentration I get sitting there in my study, concentration I get in Sathguru's room, all different. Because the Shakti is where she spent more time. Where she has spent more time, that Shakti is there. So concentration you get, easily you are able to focus on what is necessary for people and tell them. So Punyam and Papa, it is something that we are collecting. And things like Satsangam, prayer to Sathguru, consciousness of Sathguru's presence, all that adds to it. Now, when we do these things, we are getting more Punyam, we are reducing Papa. But the second part of the question was, does this affect our children? That means I've spoken to her. So, does it go to our children? So, according to Purana, Sri Krishna told Rukmini that out of the punyam which a person gets, 50% of punyam goes to his wife, 20% goes to the parents, 20% goes to the children. So effectively, a man gets only 10% of punyam which is done. So Sathguru is saying, if you are going to get only 10%, how much you must do? So then Suresh asked Sathguru, but her punyam also I will get 50%. So Sathguru said, no, she is bearing the children, you are not bearing any children. So a woman always receives punyam, but she does not give. So the punyam does not come to the man from the wife, but the wife is from the husband. So when we are getting this punyam, like Sathguru said, we must see that there is a sufficient balance for ourselves. So it does go to the children. The good things, the bad things, 20% of that go to the children, or if there are no children, they are to the disciple. And generally the first child or the first disciple gets more. That is what the Upanishad says. It says that this should be taught to the eldest son or to the disciple who comes first. So when this happens, that Shakti is full then. So the first person who receives it gets it. That's how it is. So when this punyam goes down to Papa, goes down to the children. So we must see that there is little to give them of Papa and more punyam to give them. And when they receive it, that goes on. It's coming through the genes. So we have to. So by meditation, prayer, and by detachment. Detachment has two things. One is to detach ourselves from the things we do which are wrong, from the circumstances we are living which are difficult and wrong. And suppose we are living in a situation where wrong things are happening, we have to detach ourselves from it, and we may not be able to. Yesterday's Upadesham or yesterday's Upadesham, if you don't have to correct people, tell them once and then leave them alone and pray for them. That's what Sathguru said. So, when I used to start teaching, if I was not in Chennai, I called on the phone and say I want to talk to Sathguru. Then Sathguru will talk with me. Then I'll ask Sathguru, I'm going to speak here, I'm going to speak there. What should I say? Then Sathguru just say one line. When I go there and say that there, it will be exactly apt. So, of course, you remember that SKUM school we went to. When I spoke that morning, what did I ask Sathguru? What should I do? Sathguru said, talk about discipline, talk about responsibility. So after I spoke about this, and I spoke about the relationship between parents and children and parents, then when we came after that and we all sat down, the correspondent of the school said, I wish I had heard this discourse when I was a boy, and that my parents also had heard it. So it was exactly what Sathguru wanted. And now when Sathguru is not here, that Upadesham which is posted is something which is relevant for what I am going to talk about. So when I go to talk, I always, before that, I just look through the Upanishads. Last 3 days, which is the Upanishad which is relevant to what I'm going to talk, and that will be that. So it's a very living presence of Sathguru here. So this Shakti comes to the children. So when we are born, we have got certain karmas of our own. We have got, those karmas have drawn us. It's like how when it sticks to us, our actions stick to us. And so when we move, just like how we sit in a room full of flowers, we smell of flowers. We go to the kitchen when garlic is being fried, the first smells of garlic. It will go down slowly, but it will take time. Our bodies will smell of it, what we eat. So that will go off slowly, but it does not go off immediately. Then we went to, so that is one thing. The second thing is the karma is sticking onto us, and because the second karma is sticking onto us, second thing that happens is we are drawn to people who have got similar karma. So if it is necessary that we should have suffering, we will be taken to a family where it's going to suffer. And so we'll be born there. So those people have got similar karma and possibly similar connection. Very rarely Sathguru used to reveal the last birth, but once when one person came, he had a daughter who was very mentally retarded and a little violent. So afterwards he said, Sathguru is the only person who told me, face the situation, this child is like this and she'll never be alright. But you accept that because of your wrong actions, this has happened. And Sathguru told him also, this girl has done a very horrific murder in her last Janma. And you and your wife and other daughter assisted her in it. So that's why you all are born together. And when she is going through that suffering, you all are also going through that suffering. So with the Sathguru's grace, we have this Upadesham. Why are you going into tomorrow carrying the burden of 1,000 yesterdays? So normally, how do we take it? We are taking that it's memories. In every situation, it can be reinterpreted, the Upadesham. Just like how the Gita is explained by various people. So similarly, the Upadesham also is explained in different ways. So when we go into tomorrow with 1,000 yesterdays, the other memories, they are the old likings and dislikings we carried over from the previous birth. And they are also the genes which we have inherited, the punya and papa we have inherited from the parents. Their parents, all that's coming down. Each person comes 20% and their children get that 20% like that. So there is a certain amount of punya and papa in our genes itself. So that also explains the karma, because each cell in the body is a jiva. They have come together, all those jivas come together, create one person who is a jivatma. And that jivatma is controlling the body. Sometimes that karma goes. So then that part of the body stops acting. When we leave the body totally, jivatma leaves the body, all these cells have no master. So that it degenerates, it decomposes, and it gets spoiled. So that is why also we remove the pranas from the body. So there's absolutely nothing of that jiva in the body when it goes for cremation. Many people ask, what about people who are buried without this, non-Hindus, they don't have it. Then some of the pranas remain in the body, that's all there is to it. So the parting is a little more difficult for them. So when we are going into tomorrow, all these yesterdays have to be left behind. One is our own memories, our own ideas, because what we have experienced, we judge tomorrow, we judge today. We are not able to see the world as it is. We are able to see the world as we have experienced it earlier. So today's situation may be totally different from what it was yesterday. But then we are attached to it. And we think that we belong here, we belong there. And new situations we can't adjust to. So we have to give up our attachments, our prejudices, all these things, our likings, our dislikings which we are carrying with us, and go to the next day. And what about the punya and papa, which is received from parents, which is received from other people by association? That also comes. So what happens at that time? That has to be removed by identification with God's feet. That's why Sathguru said, look at Sathguru, look at Bhagavan's feet. Because the more you identify with his feet, and then you are detaching yourself from this. So that connection is the jiva, that self, that ego, that sense asmita, I am this person. So that's, as long as you feel you're this person, you are connected with all that karma. But when you feel that I am God's servant, then, like the Upanishad says, that idea dasoham, I am the servant of God, is the same as soham, I am. So then this personality, why is it? Because the personality is being rubbed out. It doesn't mean that you will become totally without any personality. But this idea of a different personality comes out. You are still the same person, but God has entered into you, you have entered into God. Sitantua Bhaga Pravisha Swaha Visedava. O Lord, may your power enter into me. Sama Bhaga Pravisha Swaha. May I enter into you. So it is, even though it is a prayer for prosperity and all that which we do, the Avaganti, it also comes like this. It finally winds up with a prayer for merging with God. So, this is a process which we have to consciously do. Merging ourselves with the feet of God. We have to take ourselves to God's feet. We have to live in wherever we are living, but this is a situation where we are. So we accept the difficulties as this is where we are living. So if we have a problem and we have to live in an atmosphere which is difficult, we just wait there. After some time, God will find us a way out. And we say, why is this happening? You accept that it's because of your karma. After that, this will be okay. Then it becomes, once we stop that resistance, it becomes easier to live with the situation. And we don't take it so seriously. Because we take the world seriously, it's able to hurt us. If we walk away from that and say, no, this world is here, I am in this world, but I'm not going to let the world come inside me. Inside me is Sadhguru's feet. Then you don't feel it. So, then when we don't carry this into tomorrow, then the amount of bad karma which they receive is less. So ideally, from a parent's point of view, don't do bad karma so children don't suffer. From the child's point of view, or the person's point of view, who is the child, you leave that behind and take refuge in God. Ramayava Sharanam Vichya Sarva Bhavena Bharata. In every way you take, then you get moksha as well as peace in this life. So peace in this life is something which everyone must have, whether they are, absolutely renounced in serving God, or whether they are living also. Without peace we can't live. So that, and then he says, take refuge in Him, you will attain peace as well as his abode, where he stays. That Vaikuntham you can go to, says in Gita. So then this is what Sadhguru gives so much importance to Sarvadharma and Parityaja. So Dharayati iti dharma. That which supports us is dharma. So you don't look for anything in the world to support you. You look to God for support. He must support us. And if it comes from, we must also look at other places for support. That's our life. Suppose you're going, we have to pass this person by. But understand that this support is coming to us because of God. Otherwise it won't come. So we have to go into tomorrow holding Sadhguru's hand. Otherwise it will be difficult for us. Otherwise also we will go into tomorrow. But with holding Sadhguru's hand, then Sadhguru takes us on the easiest path. Sadhguru came and created a path, so she had to go through the thorns and the bushes. Now we just have to go through that path which is already clear and reach Sadhguru's feet. Sri Sadhguru.